So I'm on my way to go look at a new car to buy, because there's literally room in my driveway for maybe one more car. So I might as well fill it up. I'm going to look at a 2000 BMW Z3 as a project car, right? I'm gonna try to flip it, make a few dollars. We'll see. I haven't really done this in a long time, and it's pretty exciting. I'd like to maybe flip a few cars to make some money for a project I have in mind. We'll see how it goes. But this one's a 2000 Z3. It is a 2.3, so it's the smaller straight six. It is a 5-speed. I wouldn't even look at it otherwise. It's a pretty clean looking car. It's like Boston green, whatever they call it, with tan interior, so it's a pretty desirable color combo. It says it's got new brakes, like pads, rotors, and even calipers. I'd have to look at it and see. But they say, and I'm not quite sure what exactly he means, but in the ad he says it's mixing oil and water, so it's got a bad head gasket, so he's selling it needing an engine. We'll see, but I don't know. That seems like he might be jumping to conclusions.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
We'll have to go and look, but you know, like this, even if I have to put a motor in this, these engines they're not super expensive. I really don't want to do a motor, but it might be fun. I haven't done one in a while. But a good clean Z3, it's got I think it's got like 110,000 miles on it. It's gonna be worth six-ish, you know, 55, 6,500, depending on the condition. Looks to be all original. It also says it has new tires, so like that's a lot of pluses. It'd be worth putting an engine in this. He had it at like 2,300. He's got it down to 1,500. I don't know. Maybe he had some people look at it and they didn't want to go for it. Maybe it's worse than I thought, but it's worth a look, right? He also told me I should be able to drive it home. I was wondering, you know, if it's going to overheat. It's only about 20 minutes from my house, and he said it doesn't overheat. It hasn't overheated, because that would be my worry, right? It's an aluminum block, aluminum head. If it had overheated and warped, it'd be a boat anchor. But if it hasn't overheated, maybe we can get away with just doing a head gasket on it. I don't know. We take the head off and we'll have to, you know, put a flat straight edge on it. So we'll see. So pulling up to the guy's house now. I'm not gonna take the camera out and try to, you know, film any of that. Sorry, it's just not my thing. And who knows, maybe I'll be driving home with a Z3. Haven't had a Z3 before. Had a lot of BMWs. Interestingly enough, this is almost exactly the spec of my dad's old Z3 that I found for him and he bought. His was a little bit nicer, but this one's really pretty nice. But my dad's was like extremely nice. Had hard top, had every option you could think of, pretty low miles. Really, it was a really clean car. He sold it though. But everything else is like, it's almost exactly the same, except this one has fog lights, and I don't think his did. All right, wish me luck. No.
Oh. I looked in that folder, just one of them had $1,700.
I know. Oh my god.
Huh?
Oh my god.
So what do you think of the engine?
Let's see. I just want to hear it. Hold on 5 seconds. So ended up buying the car. Definitely isn't overheating, it's underheating. Look at that temperature gauge. Probably thermostat stuck open. It checked out pretty good. It needs some suspension work, lots of rattles. But then this happens. That's the EML light and the traction control light come on, and it puts the car into a limp mode. And it did this like 8 times on the way home. and you can't drive it. It needs to be pulled over and restarted. Yeah, I'd say those struts are probably shot. Alright, well, it's definitely wet in here. I mean, it's like really wet. But that's probably because, sorry, I know it's dark. This guy is missing. There should be a seal there. It's not. All this water has been going in through here. I will say, nothing in here looks rusty enough that it's been out too long, because usually this stuff would be all kinds of rusty. I don't know if we can see. There's a lot of water down behind the battery. Let's see the battery. Alright. There's nothing. So it's no idea how old the battery is. Okay. I mean, it works, so I'm not messing with it. Yeah, a lot of water in here. Like, you can kind of see it down there. There. But you can really see it back here. Let's pull the side off. I don't really know what that guy is. Kind of looks like a nuclear bomb, but it's not. But can you see all the water in there? Oh yeah, now you can see it. That's a lot of water. For job one, we'll use the screwdriver. I do see what looks to be alright, so you see down there, there is a plug. Let's probably push it out carefully. Probably should be pulling it in, but there's like 3 inches of water in here. This is something. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah. Fixed it. Question is, where'd the plug go? Alright, so we'll make this our first repair. There you go. Now we just gotta get it out of the package. Let's see if I can put anything on it. But I think it's pretty obvious where the water's coming from. Take the antenna off, which is surprisingly in good shape. Whoops. And you'll see it's got to get in that little groove. Little silicone spray. I'm going to have to wipe that off. And we'll put some on this too. We'll do this over here. My wife's going to get mad, maybe. There we go. So now hopefully it will slip right on. Oh yeah, much better. There we go. All right, well, it is cold out here, so what would be better to do than clean the engine down with some engine cleaner? I just want to clean it off because I'm going to be getting in there, and if it's a little cleaner, it's a little better, right? All right, so let's open the hood. It's a big hood on this car. A lot of hood. Oh, it's so pretty under here. All right. So it's pretty normal looking, pretty typical of a, 25-year-old car. It's not real filthy, honestly. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's not bad. Look at that strut mount is ready to give out. It's actually a pretty nice car. The more I look at it, the more I'm excited with it. So let's go ahead. Use my purple power. I'm doing this while the engine's cold. So all I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna get crazy with brushes or anything like that. I'm just gonna spray it down, let it sit a little bit, and then hose it off. I kind of want to get to this before we get back into the freezing temperatures, because we're going to be getting back into the freezing temperatures. I love getting a car like this because it's just untouched. Nobody's really screwed with this car. It's been to the dealership a little bit, from what I can tell. I'm not seeing any repairs, like body repairs. I'm not seeing much of anything. It just seems like it was pretty well cared for most of its life. And we'll just let it sit for a few minutes and spray with the hose. All right. Now, let's clean her off a little bit here. Not too much force either, you know. Use the shower function. This will just clean it up quite a bit. It's already looking way better. There you go. And that will be a lot nicer to work on. Because work on we will be doing. All right, so this is the new project, 2000 BMW Z3 with the 2.3. It's the smaller of the straight sixes. Still actually has pretty decent power. There's the older ones. You could get the 4-cylinder with the 1.9. This generation is like a 2.3, or I believe it's a 2.8 with the M52 TU, which it's kind of like a generation of engine where it's like half drive-by-wire. Later the M54 will come out. Pretty good motors overall. I had one in my 5 Series wagon I had a while back. Very smooth. These straight sixes, if anything, once you've got them, they're smooth. This one does need a little work. This is going to be a flip for me. I'm going to try to start flipping some low dollar cars to make some cash, to maybe buy something nicer. We'll see. I've got some ideas in my head, some things that aren't all that mainstream. Imagine that. I picked this up for $1,000. It was a good deal, don't get me wrong. There were concerns that it needed an engine. So let's get into what the car needs that I know of right now. So they listed it as needing an engine. They said it had a bad head gasket. These are aluminum block and aluminum head. So if they overheat, they're pretty much done. You know, he told me it never overheated. So I thought, okay, I mean, you can only trust that as far as you can trust it, right? I figured, well, let me go take a look at this. It was close enough by fun car. I'm going to try to flip fun cars, not boring stuff. I noticed that oil was black, the coolant was blue. So that was a good sign. But there is some of that cottage cheese kind of chunky buildup in the dipstick tube, you know, the bottom of the oil cap here, this kind of stuff. It's not that bad. I think I already wiped it off a little bit. It's not that bad, but what that really leans toward isn't really a head gasket issue, because it doesn't overheat. In fact, it's the opposite. It leads more towards an issue with the PCV or CCV valve, where basically it gets too much moisture in there, it clogs it up, it's got nowhere for it to go, and it just makes this chunky, nasty, yellowy white stuff in your oil. Really not a big deal. We're going to change the CCV valve, some of the hoses. Yeah, and that should take care of that. Why did it do that? Well, remember I said it doesn't overheat? it underheats. I drove it home actually quite a bit, 20 miles or so, and the temperature gauge only goes up to about a quarter. So it's not getting hot enough to burn off the moisture in the engine, which is causing this problem. So I'm going to order up new thermostat. I'm going to order up new CCV valve, or CC valve, whatever you want to call it, as well. Hopefully take care of that, flush the engine, you know, all the normal stuff. And we will hopefully take care of that problem. I don't see why that wouldn't take care of that problem. And I'll do some other checks to double check there's no head gasket issue, but I'm pretty confident there's no head gasket issue. But the engine does need some repair. So while it was a good deal, it's still going to need some work. The other issue is something I'm not all that sure about. I'm going to just play around with this now. Is the car, he told me, oh yeah, you should be able to make it home 25-30 minutes. It may sputter out to the side of the road where it goes in like a fail-safe mode. Okay, turn it off, turn it back on, and everything will be fine again. Cool. Well, it did that on the way home like 8 times in really bad spots, blind turns, middle of lights, all that. It was great. It was a lot of fun. But I got it home. That, from my understanding, is got to be an issue between the pedal assembly, because it's drive-by, you know, kind of drive-by wire, the throttle body assembly, and it could also be wiring issues. I know, BMW wiring issues, which, by the way, I've had a lot of BMWs. Wiring issues aren't really that thing. I don't know why it got that reputation. It's not any more common than any other car that I've found, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But could be wire harness issue, and it always could also be the ECU if there's any damage to the ECU. Now, it seems to be pretty intermittent, like it's good and then it's bad. I found some paperwork in the car. The throttle body was changed. It's got about 111,000 miles. The throttle body was changed, which was expensive, at about 65,000 miles. This is at the dealer, and the dealer tech put in there they wanted some time. They thought there was a ground issue with the wire harness, and they didn't want to go any further with it. I think the issue is going to be in the wire harness, because I feel like that tech at the dealer noticed something with some type of ground issue. Now, I'm terrible at wiring, so I'm going to do my best to figure this out. I may just throw a used harness at it. We'll see. I may call in some friends that are better with electrical. We'll see what we do. But if I can fix that, take care of the other issues, and then, I don't know if you can see this, it may need front struts. I'll order up some struts. The suspension made some rattle, so I want to get this up in the air. I want to make sure there's nothing else that could be changed. I'm not a big fan of flipping cars, so I'm going to make sure the car's as nice as possibly can make it. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not a corner cutter when it comes to this kind of thing. The last thing I'd want to do is sell a car to somebody and have like something go wrong right away. So I'll make sure this car is something I'd want to drive, and I think I'm going to drive it for a little bit too. Just I want to make sure there's no issues with this drivability issue once I'm able to fix it. I did clean down the engine because I'd rather work on a clean engine, and then it's been really freaking cold here, as you can tell. In fact, I'm in my garage. You're not going to see me in here doing work on cars that often because I don't like to work in here. I'd much rather be in my driveway. Maybe I'm broken. I don't know. But anyway, now when I start up the car, it goes right into that fail-safe mode. The EML light comes on as well as the traction control light. I'm not sure how they're all connected, but they seem to be. So I'm wondering, it could be water got somewhere, or the extreme cold. Maybe there's an issue on the ECU with the circuit boards. You know, maybe one of the solders is cracked and it's shrinking when it freezes, and you know how that all works. So I've got some digging in to do there. So I think right now I'm gonna just kind of inspect this. I need to order parts, you know, more than anything. This is going to take part over a little time, so you might seem like I'm going faster than I really am. It is January, middle of January right now. I'm kind of giving myself till like April, because convertibles sell well in the springtime, right? In the summer. And this is a convertible. It's a manual. This is a car I would drive. So that's kind of what drew me towards it. And it's actually pretty clean overall. It was the grandfather's car. He bought it new. And then they gave it to the grandson to drive through college and stuff. It's pretty nice. It's really got minimal body damage. A couple little dings and things here. The leather inside's pretty nice. No tears. There's a couple deep cracks from, being old. But carpets are clean. The other thing is it does seem to get water inside. I already found one issue with the rubber grommet around the antenna, so the trunk's full of water because of that, because of one $11 grommet. And then the rear window, I'll show you later. The window's there, it's fine, but there should be a seal around it, and I think what's happening is the water's getting in. But it seems like it hasn't been getting wet for long. It's no weird smells, no mold or anything inside. It just needs to be dried out. So I'm going to dry the car out. It's one reason I have it in the garage, because we're going to get like 7 feet of snow tomorrow apparently, and I don't feel like dealing with it. I had a tarp over it for the last snow, but I'd rather not do it that way. But yeah, so I've been looking over the car. It's definitely been kept. Like I said, new throttle body. I see a new alternator. Oh, it's got brand new brakes and rotors. Even one of the calipers looks new. He said something about that. Tires are new. Like I said, this is a nice car. You can throw some nice suspension on it and get it running right, and it should be pretty good. I'm gonna go all OEM. I'm not gonna lower it or anything or lift it or anything crazy. This one's going back to stock, and I really think it's gonna be a nice car that I can make a few bucks off of when I'm done. Running very rough. Got these lights on. Won't really go past 2,500 RPM, and you really got to push it to get that. So I don't want to keep it running and mess up the cats. It's probably running rich because of all this, and we don't want to soak them. It's so cold out here. And yeah, hopefully we can find like a smoking gun or something that's obviously wrong with the wiring, because I'm not that great at wiring. And if it's not obvious, I'm gonna have a hard time finding it, I think. I may end up just changing the wire harness from the engine to the ECU, because that seems to be one of the issues that could be causing this. And the throttle body's already been replaced, it looks like. All right, well, that's all I got for you today. I'm gonna go do some parts ordering this weekend. I'm gonna spend more money to make money. That's what you got to do, right? You got to spend money to make money, and we will hopefully get this thing nice and sweet and ready up for the next owner, and then move on to the next car. I'm gonna have some fun with this, but it should be fun cars, and at some point I'll reveal what I'm working towards. But I may not give you exact amounts here and there. I'm not really good with exact amounts. I'm gonna have to, I guess, keep track of what I buy. I don't like working in my garage, if I haven't said that before, but it's kind of growing on me. It's cool because it's not like raining or snowing or windy, so that's good. Maybe I should do this more often. It also helps to have a car the size of a golf cart, because nothing else would really fit in here. It's an oversized one-car garage. I don't know what they thought a regular size car was. This garage was built in the 50s when cars were ginormous. And I'm pretty sure you couldn't fit a car from the 50s in here. I mean, it might maybe very tight fit. Like my father's got a 65 Galaxy. The car's got even bigger in the 60s. It ain't fitting in here. It's not fitting in here. But this little tiny Z3, there you go. Perfect. So wintertime repairs are going to have to be small cars. That's it. That's new rule. New rule for the winter. Small cars only. Unless we're outside, which, as you guys know, I'm usually outside, even though I'm getting old. Next house is going to have a big garage, I think. So anyway, as I babble on, thanks for watching. This new one should be pretty fun. So hit that subscribe button so that you can follow along. You see the new videos when they come up. Helps me out too. Hit the like. Leave a comment. Tell me if you like what I'm doing. Tell me if you think I'm doing something really wrong. Yeah, I read them all. And I really appreciate when you guys do interact a little bit because it makes it a little more fun. So hey, thanks again, and try to stay warm. I have to go get ready for the 3 feet of snow that's going to come tomorrow, apparently. But I think it's only going to be like 3 inches of snow because the weathermen are usually really, really wrong when they think they're this right. All right, adios.